G'day everyone, Viv here. I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome back. Sitting in the casting room at the moment. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I've got a compressor on this side, massive huge compressor, Harambe, and our lasers on the other side of this wall. I can hear a lot of noise. I don't know about you guys. So I'm sitting in the casting room. Hopefully you've been seeing on Facebook that we've been promoting a little bit our Mirrors of Tullarn range, our 28mm fantasy figures that have been wonderfully sculpted by Anton Ducrot from Flytrap factory. We've been working on this, on and off for probably about a year and a half. I think we probably received our first sculpts from Anton, maybe even 2 years ago. I originally started Knights of Dice, as some of you may know, with this equipment behind me. I always wanted to produce my own range of miniatures. That works very well if you know how to sculpt. And I don't know how to sculpt. I thought that I'd buy this equipment behind me and that would be my trigger for learning how to sculpt. Now that never happened. I fooled around digitally. I can sculpt digitally, not very well. I certainly need to practice more. And consequently, this casting room and our moulding room here has been relatively dormant for the whole 5 years of Knights of Dice. Now, obviously I want to change that, and the best way to change that is just to start getting things done. So I chatted with Anton. I've loved Anton's work for years and years and years. I love the ranges that he has at Flytrap factory and his style, and so we got chatting, and an opportunity came up to work with him to get some miniatures made. So we did a few just to start with, and then that turned into more ongoing work, and then progressively over the period of about a year, somehow we ended up with 69 figures. Before I realised, hang on, how am I going to get all these things made? I've got to get all the moulds made, and I've spent a huge amount of money getting all of these figures sculpted without ever thinking about the production side of what's required to actually stick some rubber into these moulds, into the spin caster behind me here. And so the project then turned to, okay, well, now we need to use Kickstarter to get the funds to buy all the rubber and all the metal that we need to cast up these 69 figures. It's been a journey, it's been fun, and finally the project is live on Kickstarter. I have no idea what's going to happen. I know there's massive amounts of competition out there. I really didn't want to use Kickstarter to do this. I've funded Knights of Dice for 5 years myself. We bought incredibly expensive laser machines, and we bought this warehouse that we're in, and I've spent a ridiculous amount of money on this place. And I know it's never going to make me rich, nor am I going to make millions of dollars out of this business, but I do it because I love it. But I can't eat love, and I can't feed love to my family. So in this instance now, I don't have the funds to put these figures into production. So we've gone to Kickstarter, and that's where we are now. The project launched today on Kickstarter. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it does well. We've got stretch goals out to 24,000, which looking around at things that have happened on Kickstarter before, I don't think that's unachievable. I'm looking for an $8,000 funding goal. $8,000 will get me all the rubber and silicon that I need to do the whole range. But we've split it up into manageable chunks in case we don't get to those stretch goals. Then if I don't have to do that work, then just so I can bank it for later. But I wanted to put the camera on really quick and just film something down here in the casting room. I did mention in the previous video that I put up about the hobby benches in the main area. That's slowly moving along now. That big 10-foot by 6-foot table, there goes that compressor again, is gone. So hopefully I can start getting that up there, and we can get this stuff happening more regularly. But at least for the next 28 days, until the end of October, you will be hearing from me regularly as we start to see the miniatures in more detail, more pictures, more scenic shots, more information. Please jump onto Kickstarter, back the project, even if it's just for the dollar, just to say thanks very much. At least that way we can engage in some correspondence, some communication. And you can let us know what we can do differently for next time. There's already been a load of wonderful feedback before the Kickstarter campaign was even launched. I know there's gaps in the range. I know there's no females in the range, and there was going to be, but things just escalated out of control, and before I knew what was going on, a year and a half had passed, and 70 odd figures had been done. So I know there's things that we can do better, but unless you get involved in the campaign and tell me, then I'm essentially flying solo. So there we go. Anyway, very quick update down here in the casting room. I want to get this stuff fired up. Yeah, I unfortunately, well, fortunately, it depends on which way you look at it, need your help to get it done. So I hope you join in on Kickstarter. Like I said, even if it's just for $1, or the $5 pledge to get the exclusive Kickstarter, and that will be a proper exclusive miniature. It will never be available anywhere else. It's painstaking to say that, and she's a wonderful figure, the Void Witch. But if it's an exclusive, it should be exclusive, right? I'm not going to start selling it in 2 years' time. Anyway, there we go. My ramble is done. I could keep rambling forever, as you well know. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you hopefully very soon. See ya.